Hello guys, what is up? We got another review here. This time we have another flagship and it'll be from LG. This time it's top of the line LG V60, the successor to the LG V50 from last year. This one came out a little bit earlier in the year, I'm assuming because of the Corona V. But yeah, so I got this just a little over a week ago, and I've been using it for quite a bit as my daily driver, and I just want to talk about it. So here it is in all its glory. It is right now currently in its dual screen case, which as you can see has the two screens. But let's go ahead and go into it. I'm going to go into the negatives. The first negative from the V60 that to me it's just a little pickiness I have is the screen is only 1080p. Most of the time you're going to be using this phone more than likely as just the phone itself without the dual screen case, and I'll go into that a little bit later. But as you can see, here it is. It's a beautiful phone. It's big, but for me, I mean, my hands are not that small or not really large. I think it's about average, and I'm fine using this even as a one-handed device. I do use it quite a bit, and it's been good. But yeah, that's one thing though, the 1080p HD screen, so you only have one right here. And even though it is a vibrant screen and looks pretty, I'm actually currently filming on the OnePlus 7T Pro McLaren, and that screen is just gorgeous. You can tell by the smoother refresh rate, which I'll go into later. It's a QHD screen, and it's beautiful. You can the little subtle details that you can see. If you're a tech nerd like me, you'll definitely see it. Another thing is the notch. As you can see right there, I'm not a big fan of the notch. OnePlus 7 Pro, OnePlus 7T Pro don't have a notch, and I've gotten used to that, and I love the sleekness of it. So that's another thing that I can kind of talk about. Not only that, it doesn't have a Face ID. With a big old notch like that, well, it's not that big, I guess, but you know, it's pretty noticeable. And no Face ID, that's another thing that people have complained about quite a bit. Another thing is the 60 hertz refresh rate. I'm only going to say it's a negative because it's a flagship and it doesn't have a bigger refresh rate. You can't really tell. Honestly, if you're coming from an iPhone, if you're coming from another LG, you're not going to notice. However, if you're coming from a 90 hertz refresh rate, which I have right now at the moment, and from the Rogue Phone 2, which had a really smooth refresh rate, you're going to notice. But if I'm going to be 100% honest, after maybe 3 days, you're not even going to tell, you know. But that is something to think about. Although it does have flagship specs, it has the 865 processor, which is pretty good on battery. It doesn't have the screen to go with that. Anyways, let's talk about what's another negative we can think about. For me, I mean, a lot of people like this gold. I like the sleekness of dark colors. The OnePlus 7T Pro has a black trim, and this one has a rose gold trim. I personally, my favorite color is red, so I'm not a big fan of blue. Even though this blue does look nice. If you like blue, look at that. It does pick up smudges, as you can see. I would have rather gotten the white one, but this was the only one they had available at the time. It is nice. And it's a beautiful phone, don't get me wrong. But for me, my specific likes, I like a dark color. Very dark color. The LG V40, which is the last LG I had a very sleek design, very subtle, very stealthy, and I like that. This one, not so much. It does look like an S10 Plus, as you can see, if it had a light blue, black, and a rose gold trim. This is a rose gold. Very similar, not as pink as the iPhone gold. If you want to compare it right between the gold from the iPhone and the rose gold from the iPhone, right between those two shades, that's what you're going to get here. And it's right there as well on the trim of the camera. That's another negative that I think. The design, I mean, the colors on this specific phone. What else do we have here? Oh, LG's UI. Man, that thing stinks. I have a launcher right now, which is Nova. As you can see here, this is not the custom. This is not the original launcher from them. This is part of their interface. It's just kind of buggy and freezes every now and again. It's not the biggest, most crisp thing. So it's kind of a bummer. You know, if you're gonna compare it to the to the OnePlus 7T, which is a beautiful operating system, smooth overall, just amazing. And coming to this one, you could just definitely tell the downgrade in quality. as far as the interface there. Okay, and that's pretty much all the bad news we got for this one. I'm gonna start going into some of the good news. Should I start with the best good news or the worst? I don't know. We'll just go at random. One of my favorite things about this phone, the size of the display. Although it does have that that little big notch, this display itself is beautifully big. As you can see, I don't want to get copywritten here, but it's amazing. Amazing how big this is. I have not had a Galaxy S20 Ultra yet, but it's 0.1 inches smaller than that, and it's comparable. It's an OLED display, so it has a really deep blacks, as you can see right there. It's beautiful. It's crisp. It might not have the 120 hertz refresh rate or the 2K display, but the display itself is a beautiful display. I'd say it rivals any display out there. Even though the refresh rate, like I said before, it's not there. If you like AMOLED screens, you're not going to be disappointed here. It's good. Another good thing about this thing is the snappiness and how fast it is. This thing is super fast. And I mean, the UI itself is a little every now and again, but very rarely. But opening apps, we got Disney Plus here on the Wi-Fi. And it comes up right away, as you can see. And that was the first time I opened it in a while. I think probably the first time ever. And that was pretty quick after signing in. It's fast. It's good. There's no lag. That's a good thing. So it's fast. You're not going to have any problems with speed on this one. What else? What else do I like? I like my favorite thing about this phone. And the reason why I have it, and the reason why I've been using it, and the reason why I'm probably going to end up keeping this over the OnePlus 7T McLaren Edition is the battery life. The battery life is incredible. I mean, I have it at 81% right now. I used to have a Red Magic 3, which had the same size battery, 5,000 milliamp hours, with the same 128 gigs of storage and 8 gigs of RAM. And they are neck and neck. The only difference was that one had a 90 hertz refresh rate, and this one has a 1080p 60 hertz refresh rate. And it is just awesome as heck. Now, granted, I have been using this with the dual screen attachment for about half of the time, so this does drain your battery faster. But if you're just only using this as a phone, you're not going to be disappointed with the battery. I mean, I would say it's probably better than the S20 Ultra. Although they have the same size battery, this does not have the same size screen, granted by 0.1 inches. And it doesn't have the 120 hertz refresh rate, and it also doesn't have the higher resolution. So given all those things, you're going to save battery on this. So if you're not a huge Samsung fan, or maybe you like Samsung, but you're trying to save some money, you might want to try this out, which brings me into my next point. The price. It is $800 without the dual screen case on T-Mobile's network. It is $899 plus tax with the dual screen attachment. Honestly, I think that is the best value for any phone out right now. I think the OnePlus 7T McLaren Edition is another huge one because it has the same price point for the $900. But the dual screen, granted, I think it's awesome. I think it's good. I think it can be a good quirk to have. I've used it to watch videos and play pool at the same time. I've used it to send messages and watch a movie at the same time, to browse the internet and watch a movie. It is cool. You can swap the screens. Whatever you want to see here, you can see it here, and whatever you see here, you have it here. They're the exact same display. I'm assuming they save money because they manufactured the exact same display. As you can see, this one has a notch as the same as this one. So they just manufactured the same, a bunch, and then they just stuck the display on a slab of glass here and put it on this little mechanism. Now, there are some things that I wish this thing had. I can't remember where it was, but you could fold this over on some other phone and it would be right there against the other screen, and it would flow a lot better. You can use this as a dual screen, or I should say wide view. It's called wide view, with both displays. And I'll put this on. I love chill. We turn on the other display here, and then we enable wide view right there. Now, granted, it's only the Google apps that can support this. It is not ideal. As you can see, there's a big line in the middle here, and I wish, like I said, you could fold it into itself so it would cut off that thing. But I mean, it's cool-ish, you know, for the price. You get two screens like that. You can use it like that. You can turn it over like that, and we still got the two screens. You know, if you're just cooking or whatever and you want to watch a video, it's cool. That's what I was doing earlier, actually. And that's one of the cool things. No, there are some things that I know that can be improved with that. One of the things that I wish it could be permanently on this type of view. If you could have it permanently on the landscape view, it would be a lot better. Because see, right here, I wish I could just, you know, use it kind of like a tablet, but you can't. It won't fold. You have to keep it like this. And let's say if I want to watch YouTube and then be on Snapchat at the same time, that's not possible. Okay, let me send this to the other screen. That's not possible if I want to watch a video and be on landscape mode here. So you can't. You gotta be like this. And I don't know, that's one of the things that, or even just use the phone itself. You know, like if I want to watch a YouTube video and try and pick a different app, I have to see it sideways. And that's something that I wish they could implement. Maybe it could be fixed with a software upgrade. I don't know. That's one of the things that, although I like it, it's something that could definitely be improved upon. So that's that. So again, I didn't really even go into a positive. Obviously, it comes with a dual screen. And going backtracking into a negative out of the case itself, it's very bulky. As you can see, the phone itself is already pretty big. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's a huge dude." It's big. It's not enormous. I mean, the biggest phone I've had so far is the Huawei Mate 9X, Mate 9 Pro X, something like that. Mate 20X, the Huawei Mate 20X. That was the biggest phone I've had. That thing was as big as this with this case on. So that's a big mammoth phone. That was too big. I think that was like probably as big as you could get without, or I mean, it was already going to the humongous size. This is big with the case, not as big without the case. I think without the case, it's fine. I haven't had it with a normal case yet because I've been trying to find one and I haven't been able to. All the things online are coming from China, so they wouldn't be here till like next year, pretty much, right? Because of everything that's happening. Oh man, I wish I had my phone or a different phone to scale so you guys can see the difference in size. But it is taller than the OnePlus 7 Pro, the OnePlus 7T Pro, just by that much. The width is about the same width this way. The thickness, I would say it's a little bit thicker than the OnePlus 7T, and I'm assuming it's because of the battery. So there you have it, guys. If you have any questions, I like this phone. I've had every single V series phones, from the V10 to the 20, 30, 40. Not the 50 though. I only found that on Sprint, and I didn't have Sprint, so I've only had Simple Mobile. And then now the V60. I bought the V40 brand new as well. V30 did not, but this has the best battery, and I'm very happy with this phone. Honestly, I like it a lot. It gets the job done and has a great battery life. I think the most underrated thing is the battery life. If the battery life is good, no matter what other problems the phone might have, I think you can survive it because like you just don't have to reach for the charger as often, you know. So there you have it, guys. And that's the V60 thinq with the dual screen attachment. If you have any questions, I will be hanging on to this phone for quite a bit. The next phone I'm trying to get is the Red Magic 5G to do a review on that, so stay tuned for that and let me know what y'all think. Thanks for watching and have a good day. Have a good day.